Industrial sites are like giant toy boxes for grown-ups. Big machines, valuable materials, and enough hazards to make a safety inspector weep. That's why security guards are so important. They're the first line of defense against theft, vandalism, and other bad things. Think of them as the bouncers for the world's workshop, making sure only the right people get in. Without good security, businesses become vulnerable to all sorts of risks. Imagine a factory making delicious cookies. Sounds harmless, right? But what if someone breaks in and messes with the recipe? Suddenly, those delicious cookies are causing everyone to, well, let's just say it wouldn't be good for business. Or, picture a construction site with valuable equipment just sitting there. Without proper security, it's basically an open invitation for thieves to go shopping. Industrial security isn't just about preventing theft, though. It's also about protecting people. Industrial sites can be dangerous places, with heavy machinery and hazardous materials. A good security guard helps keep everyone safe by enforcing safety regulations and responding quickly to accidents. Essentially, they're like the hall monitors of heavy industry, making sure nobody's playing with fire, or, highly flammable chemicals. Even the best security guards aren't perfect. They can make mistakes just like anyone else. But some mistakes are more common than others, and they can have serious consequences. Here are a few slip-ups that security guards sometimes make. Falling asleep on the job. This one's pretty self-explanatory. If a guard is supposed to be watching for trouble, they can't do that while snoozing, not paying attention. Distractions are everywhere, especially in the age of smartphones. A security guard glued to their phone isn't paying attention to what's happening around them. Improper patrols. Patrolling is about more than just walking around. It's about being observant and looking for anything suspicious. Rushing through a patrol or not checking all the designated areas is a recipe for disaster. Poor communication. Security guards need to be able to communicate clearly and effectively with each other, with supervisors, and with emergency services. Miscommunication can lead to delays, confusion, and potentially dangerous situations. Lack of training. Security isn't just about being big and intimidating. It requires specific skills and knowledge. Guards need to be trained in things like first aid, fire safety, and how to handle different types of security threats. Okay, time for some real-life examples of security gone wrong. Because nothing illustrates the importance of good security like a good old-fashioned cautionary tale. Remember that cookie factory we talked about? Well, imagine if the security guard on duty was busy scrolling through social media instead of watching the security cameras. Someone could sneak in, tamper with the ingredients, and the next thing you know, the company's facing a massive recall and a PR nightmare. And let's not forget about the people who got sick from those tainted cookies. Not a good look for the cookie company, to say the least. Or picture this, a construction site with millions of dollars worth of equipment just sitting there, ripe for the picking. The security guard is supposed to be patrolling the perimeter, but they're not very thorough. They miss a broken fence, and guess what? Thieves get away with a truckload of valuable tools. That's a hefty insurance claim, not to mention the delays and lost productivity. These are just a couple of examples of what can happen when security goes wrong. It might sound far-fetched, but these things happen all the time, and the consequences can be severe, not just for the businesses involved, but for the employees and the public as well. So how do we prevent these security snafus? It's not rocket science, but it does require diligence and a commitment to best practices. Here are a few key things to keep in mind. Hire the right people. Not everyone is cut out for security work. Look for candidates who are alert, responsible, and have good communication skills. Background checks and drug testing are also essential. Provide proper training. Don't just throw a uniform and a badge at someone and expect them to know what they're doing. Invest in comprehensive training that covers all aspects of industrial security, from patrolling techniques to emergency response procedures. Use technology to your advantage. Security cameras, motion detectors, and access control systems can all help deter crime and improve overall security. Just make sure someone is actually monitoring those systems. Promote a culture of security. Everyone on an industrial site, from the CEO to the janitor, has a role to play in security. Encourage employees to report suspicious activity and be vigilant about safety protocols. Regular audits and assessments. Don't just assume your security program is working perfectly. Conduct regular audits and assessments to identify weaknesses and make necessary adjustments. Remember, industrial security is not a set-it-and-forget-it kind of thing. It requires ongoing attention, training, and investment. But the peace of mind and protection it provides are well worth the effort.